Hey guys, hope you're well and keeping safe, taking care of yourself. I have my dawa here. This has become my favorite of late. Today I want to do a video on Christmas, but first thank you so much for subscribing, for the 50k subscribers. I know I've been slacking with my videos, but I'm trying to get back to it. If you're like me, when it comes to Christmas, you think about maybe family, kids, your extended family. Everyone's dynamics are different, so I'll just talk about the general things that people tend to deal with during Christmas. Most of us have extended family and we tend to do get-togethers. And the one thing that we used to do when I was younger is have a family get-together. All the relatives come together in one place. And it can be a lot of pressure for people depending on your family and their traditions. So one of the things that I would note when I would come to these family gatherings is that we don't see each other the whole year. And then we meet each other once in 1 year, and then people expect you to update them on your life. Did you get a new job? Someone was telling me about their tradition of how they have a family meeting and then they update each other on what they have done throughout the year, what have they achieved, and then the rest give you advice on what you should be doing and stuff like that. I feel for me that's a bit of pressure, a lot of pressure, because sometimes I don't want to share everything with you guys, with my family, and also sometimes you might tend to feel like maybe if you didn't have a good year that I'm not doing as well as someone else. So you leave there feeling a bit deflated, and also that brings the issue of competitiveness and the issue of comparing. And I think it's a time for enjoying and celebrating the birth of Jesus and the happy mood. The advice I'd give is maybe if you have such a scenario is try not to share too much, and also if you could try and maybe talk with your mom or dad and just request it not to be so intense. You don't really have to do it if you don't feel like doing it. As long as you decline politely, you don't really need to feel the pressure, because in the world we live in, like this year has been terrible. We are just surviving, and then you go there and someone says, you know, this year I got a new job, bought a new house, got a partner, got married, and nothing happened. You feel like, what am I doing with my life? I'd want to hear from you guys if you face such things. Another challenge will be your family expecting you to support them financially. It doesn't apply to everyone. It applies to me, but not to everyone. You have to send money to your mom, you have to send money to your uncles, your aunties. You're the one in charge of Christmas in your household. If you don't send money for shopping or for the goat or for the nyama choma, then I don't know, maybe I should actually try it and not do it and see what will happen. But if you do not have the money, I feel, don't kill yourself where you're spending all your money during Christmas. Come January, you're broke because you can't go back to borrow them or tell them to give you a loan. So try and relay this to your family and to your extended family, that this is what I have, this is what I'm going to give you. And if this year I don't have, then don't push yourself to the wall, because I feel like, as we're talking about black tax and in our African society, we're expected to take care of our direct family, which is your mom, dad, your siblings, and then your aunties, which may not necessarily be something you can afford at that moment. So feel free to be able to say, I don't have. And why not sometimes? Let's see how it will go. Will they not have Christmas? You know, so plan yourself, communicate early so you don't feel the pressure. Another thing is also the pressure of traveling. We tend to, in our society, in our community, feel like we should travel at this time. I personally don't do it. I don't travel because I feel like during that time the hotels are booked, the charges are high, it's double the price, you don't get the best service. So I don't feel the pressure to travel, and I also don't feel the pressure to say yes to something that I'm not able to afford at the moment. You can understand, if my family is big, will I be thinking of school fees in January or traveling in December? So I also try to talk to the kids and be like, you're not traveling, you're not going anywhere. And also, as a young person, don't look at your friends who are going for vacations in Mombasa and wherever and feel the pressure. Do what you can afford, guys. It's just a short period. It's just 24th, 25th, 26th, and it's over. Do you need to blow up the bank account and then suffer the next few months? And we all know how January is. Between January and April, people are struggling. So don't feel the pressure to travel. Don't feel the pressure to do it for anyone. Do it if you can afford it. Do it if you and your partners agreed or if your pocket can allow, but don't feel the pressure. And it's okay to say no. No to, if the other family members are traveling, my best friends, my sister and her kids, if I can't afford it, and this year you've chosen not to, all I just need to is to communicate that. So don't feel that pressure that you have to go somewhere. Also, for someone who's not maybe married, is engaged, or has a boyfriend, when you're younger, it's automatic. Your parents expect you to be there on Christmas Day and to come and help out with the cooking. But let's say you're starting to date and you have a boyfriend or you have a fiance, and maybe that year you want to do something different. I have experienced it, and you tend to feel guilty and they guilt trip you. And so you have to sometimes say, you know what, this year I just want to spend Christmas with my boyfriend or my fiance or my partner, so don't feel the pressure. It was hard for me, but I did it. I just told my mom this year when I was dating, I'm not coming. And even if they guilt trip you, they also have to understand you're starting to have a life. You're trying to create your own family. So it's okay to say no, that I won't be there for Christmas lunch. Sometimes you find that the get-togethers, you're supposed to contribute a certain amount of money to be involved in the get-together. So for example, every family is supposed to contribute 20,000. And then when you get to the family gatherings, sometimes you tend that you didn't get value for your money. For example, you pay 20,000 and maybe there's no good food or maybe alcohol of your choice. I feel like if you don't want to pay the 20,000, you can choose to have family with your own family members. You don't need to feel the pressure. This is not a time to solicit for funds or for contributions. So those are some of the challenges that we face. Also, when you go for these family gatherings, you find you have to work extra hard. And what happens in a family are those people who work because they're naturally in this gathering are hardworking, and there's some who just sit. So if I don't want to go and work, then I won't go, because I might not want to spend my whole Christmas in the kitchen, cooking chapos, washing dishes. Maybe it's not my idea of celebrating Christmas. Maybe I'd want to wake up late, have brunch, sleep, stay in my pajamas. So again, if it's not what is ideal for you, please say no. You know, in a family, let's be honest, all of us are not at the same level economically. You find there are other families who are doing well, others are not doing well. So you find that the extended families that are rich tend to get away with a lot. They don't do much work. They are more spoiled. They're given more respect. It hits you even harder in these gatherings. You start comparing yourselves among you and your cousins. Your parents start comparing themselves among them and their siblings and cousins. So I feel like in our culture where it's really about how well are you doing, which car you're driving, how much money you have, such kind of gatherings can bring a lot of comparison, a lot of competition, and a lot of self-doubt. So you need to be able to manage it and be able to prepare yourself for such kind of interaction or when such kind of feelings or vibes come through, you know. And if you're the one who's economically capable, this is not a playground for you to come and make other people feel bad, show off your car, help if you can. Usiende uko na kifua. At the end of the day, I'm still the same Kathy who used to take a matatu and now I have a car. When you go to those places, don't try to highlight. You know what people do? They come, they park their new car, they say, you know, my kid is in this school. It becomes now a playground for you to show off to the others. Don't be the one who are making other people feel like they need to compete and compare themselves. For those people who are married, during the holidays you go to the man's place. And sometimes it can bring a lot of resentment from the female side. You're like, when will you go to see our relatives? Every year I don't go, they're expecting me. Politely request your partner if you could interchange. I know a couple who has a very good routine. It's actually my sister-in-law. So what they do is they interchange. So if this year they went to Christmas at the man's place, next year they'll go to her side. And then what they'll do, they interchange New Year and Christmas. So, example, if this year we'll go to Mike's village for Christmas, then this year New Year will be to my place, and then next year we interchange it like that. But that comes when you discuss these things. Don't suffer in silence, be resentful. You're dreading that time, you're dreading when it comes. You go to the village, you already have a bad mood, you already have a bad attitude. Talk about it so that you don't then turn your holidays into a terrible time, because you're feeling bad and not happy, but everyone around you is enjoying themselves. So communicate and say, you know, and request, can we also go to my place next year? I think anyone reasonable would agree to interchange. For people with families, especially moms, it's usually a very dreadful time when it comes Christmas time, because all your help then tend to go. It's unfair to tell them not to. So what people nowadays do is you get a temporary help during Christmas. You go to these companies that train helps and you take one during that period. Obviously, you're paying them a bit more. Or you could do what I do. They go in turns. So someone will start on the 21st to the 28th, another on 29th to the 3rd, and another on the 4th, and then they interchange. Because then again, I cannot be left home with 6 kids with no help. Teenagers don't necessarily, they'll say, oh mom, I'll help you, but then when that time comes, I'm left alone. So plan yourself so that you don't make that Christmas time or the holidays a time where you're grumpy, you're cranky, you're angry. See, what happens is you're left with all the work, you think you're superwoman, you think you can do it, and then what happens, you end up being tired, grumpy, cranky. Everyone around you is enjoying their holidays except you. So please plan yourself. Mothers, wives, plan yourself so that this time doesn't become stressful. And every year you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different results. So don't release all your nannies on the 24th and tell them, oh, come on the 10th of January. What's your plan all those days? Because also you're getting a break from the office. So you'll go back to the office tired. So plan yourself so then you're able to be prepared when that time comes. It would be nice to hear what you guys do and share with me ideas so that at least all of us are able to find solutions during this period. Something else I've experienced is the way as we are becoming more modernized, we want to celebrate Christmas like the West. So we have gifts. There's a time we tried exchange of gifts and people are not happy. Unless you put the value to it, where you say everyone's gift should be between, or everyone's gift should cost 5,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. Because what happens, there'll be resentment. I'll buy you a gift for 20,000 and you'll buy me a gift for 2,000. So what happens when you open our gifts, people are annoyed. Number two also could be that, like me, my kids are older right now. I buy you something you will not use. I might as well just give you the money. And also if I don't have, I don't feel the pressure. You know, when we were growing up, it was new clothes. We'd get new clothes on 25th, 26th. I don't see that with my kids. I don't feel the pressure to buy them Christmas clothes because you buy them clothes anyway throughout the year. Also Santa Claus, you know, I'm sure that the stage where he believes Santa comes and leaves the presents. I think he's getting wiser. I don't do it. I don't struggle such things. The dad does it. I don't bother because really, I didn't grow up with it. I just don't think it's necessary. But if you want to give your kids that experience, also plan and budget yourself. I don't see why parents have to break the bank to go buy a big gift or something you can't afford just to try and give that Western-like kind of Christmas. So if it's not possible, like again I said, it's okay to say no, don't stretch yourself, don't kill yourself. It's just 0 to 7 days. After that, reality hits home, you know. So don't overstretch yourself. If you can afford gifts, well and good. Again, I gave you the advice of put a price to it so that at least we can be fair. For me, I know that if I buy gifts, it has to be nearly the same range because the kids will compare. One will open their gift, it's maybe a perfume worth 15K. The other one is opening to see, is it the same amount or more? So you need to be very careful. So what I do for me, if I want to gift them, I can put money in an envelope and I give each one their money and then they can buy for themselves. But there are years which I don't do. Something else could be shopping. I've noticed that during Christmas on the 24th, 25th, the supermarkets are bursting. Guys, plan yourself early. Just do your normal monthly shopping between the 5th and the 10th. Stock up. You don't need to go when the line in Carrefour is all the way. You know, that's a long line to shop. Last minute. Let's avoid last minute purchases because also the things are expensive. Everything goes up. Meat, groceries. So what you just need to organize yourself early, so that you then don't have to spend more than what you necessarily spend. Again, guys, is it not you're eating on Christmas Day what you usually eat? Unless you're buying a turkey. It's the same thing. So you definitely know what you need to buy even before Christmas. So even if you're going to go shopping, just for small little things just to add up to your stock. And also it is nice if you, another tip for parents, please, I shop in December for 2 months. So I shop for December and January. Just in case you get broke. Yeah, just in case things are thick. And also, like I was telling my people at the office, I visit my mom and Mike's mom before Christmas. We have lunch, or you give them what you're giving them. Then I don't have the pressure on the 24th, 25th to be on the road driving when it's all madness, and that's when people are getting all sorts of accidents because you're rushing to where you're going. Just plan yourself. For people with blended families, this might require a totally new video. I made one last year, but just a tip, don't give the kids pressure to choose. Don't force them. Like I don't force them to spend Christmas with me. So I will ask them because I have them anyway. So if there are other times of the year, so if they come and say I want to spend Christmas with my mom, I want to guilt trip them. It's okay because they'll go spend Christmas with their other parent and they will find me just here. and really continue the holidays. So ensure you don't guilt trip the children, don't make them feel like they're torn apart to choose. I also know that in this going back to the families and family gatherings, sometimes there's tension. I remember growing up, you'd go to the family gathering and you find maybe sisters are fighting, my mom is fighting the sister, or relatives are fighting, there's tension, and you can sense it in the air. So sometimes kids are made to feel very uncomfortable. For example, maybe my mom was fighting with a sister, and then I haven't seen my cousin the whole year, you know, because now they are not visiting each other. For me, I would be happy because Christmas is the time where I know I'd see them, and you know what, at least finally we've met and we'll be playing together. But I know there are usually those tensions, that auntie who's nosy, that auntie who goes around smelling everyone's drink to smell if there's alcohol, the one who you go out and they're checking if you're having a smoke. Those aunties who ask you, when are you going to get married? When are you going to bring a boyfriend? What, you know, so prepare yourself mentally, because sometimes you can't escape from them. I don't have personal to do with it, but I know many of our African homes have to do these family gatherings during Christmas. And sometimes even in our own circle, we can have toxic people, or you could be the toxic one. So it's usually not a very easy time. I think preparing yourself mentally, physically, in terms where you're strong enough to do the work that you have to do to entertain that big number of people, helps you enjoy your holiday better. During Christmas time, it's important to remember other people. Sometimes we get too absorbed with our families, planning these get-togethers, our own kids. We forget the less fortunate. We forget that guy, the askari, who has been opening for you your gate for the last 12 months. You forget giving something extra to the help, who's been taking care of your kids and you guys for the whole year. Even people you've employed, you know, your employees, people who, that, for them, that is just another day, you know. They wake up and they have nothing to feed their children, you know, they don't have that joy that everyone is having. Please remember to give, and you can give whatever you have. It could be that lunch you've made, you take it in a plate, and a soda, take it to the askaris. Decide, you know what, I'm going to buy some packages, go around my estate, my court, and give the morning and evening askari. It could be the clothes you don't wear, it could be the shoes, it could be the books, it could be anything. Just a reminder, guys, that the foundation is having a food drive in conjunction with us, Image Redefined. We want to feed 1,000 families. Each family is 1,300. We have some, it's a bag where we have all the food essential. We definitely take a picture and show you guys what we are giving. Please, if you can support money-wise, you can send through the pay bill. Also, if you can give food, clothes, please kindly get in touch on the DM so that we can help as many families as possible. It's been a very hard year economically. We all know that we are suffering, all of us. Corona has not spared any of us. So if you can join me, I'll be very, very grateful. And God bless you guys, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and plan your holidays, guys. Let's not be caught off guard. I will also do some series of stories on IG on this topic, where you can share the challenges you faced during this Christmas period, what you've done about it over the years, what solutions do you have, and also family traditions that you feel are healthy, some are unhealthy. It would be really nice to engage on this topic, because I feel like we don't need to struggle with some of these things. If you have a solution, can help someone else. And also we can break the cycle where Christmas becomes a time of joy, of sharing, of celebrating the birth of Jesus, and also just to ensure all of us have a good time. So yeah, that's it for today, guys.